Hi everyone, and welcome to Architecture in the Den with me, your host Lisa Rains from Pride Road, the architecture practice franchise. And today we're talking to the architect Andrea Smiljanić. Is that right?
Brilliant. That's great. Very nice.
So do you want to just introduce yourself?
Hi everyone. Hi Lisa. My name is Andrea Smiljanić. As Lisa said, I'm an architect and also urbanist. And I live currently in the UK.
So whereabouts are you living in the UK at the moment?
Greater Manchester.
And how long have you been in Manchester for?
It's been the 6th year now.
Yes. Right. And what brought you to sunny, well, it's not so sunny today,
nothing to sunny Manchester. I arrived to rainy Manchester. Yeah, but my journey started years ago. Basically, my journey started because I was born in Yugoslavia. Mm-hmm. And from the time that there was a war, we started as a family traveling around Europe. And basically, it's just the job-related changes. I wanted to experience different countries, different cultures, different places. And there was an opportunity to come to the UK. So I tried it and it worked out.
That's cool. So how old were you when you left Yugoslavia?
I was 5.5. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And how did your parents get out?
So that's a bit more complicated because when the war started in '92, we stayed there for a couple of months in Sarajevo, and then it wasn't really the best situation over there. So me, my mom, and my brother, we were able to go to a safer place within the Yugoslavia, but my dad couldn't leave. Men above 13 without connections had to stay in case of need to be supporting the army or anything else. So only 3 of us left, and we lived for a year in a small village in Yugoslavia. And then I really don't know how, but my dad managed to find a family friend in Prague, in Czech Republic, to send us further to be in a safer place. And 3 of us, we traveled by train from Yugoslavia to Prague, where we were without our dad during the war. So that's how we basically, when I was about 6.5, how we get there.
And when was the war in Yugoslavia?
It was 92 to 96. 1992 to 1996.
So how long were you in Prague for?
We stayed there for a long time. So basically my main education from primary school and main part of my university was in Prague.
Right.
So that's where we stayed, and it was kind of my second home, yes.
And then, so did you do architecture at university?
Yes, so I did the architecture in Prague, but also I wanted to experience studying abroad. So I applied for Erasmus and I went to Porto, where I did Porto. And that was for a year of a master's where we did the urban design projects. And after that, that experience was amazing. I just loved to see and to compare, because by that I could see different way of doing architecture. It was more like practical. In Czech Republic, it was more technical and artistic, but less practical. So it was really a good experience to compare to different education systems. And when I came back from Porto, I finished, that was a master's. I finished also my Prague's master's and applied for a job abroad in Belgium. From there, I kind of got a job as a graduate, and I was living there, but I worked for companies in Belgium and the Netherlands for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And somehow I came here.
How you came here?
Yeah, to be honest, it was really difficult in working, because in Europe, across Europe, majority of architects, they are freelance architects. So to be able to live and have for rent and everything, I was working for 3 companies at the time. So it was really time consuming. And after 2.5 years, when there was majority of days working 12 to 16 hours per day, I was thinking, okay, this is not for me. I want as well some life. And I need to get to the point, you know, I learned something. This is not for me probably, but so I will try something else. And there was an opportunity to come to UK and see how I feel about it. So when I came to the UK,
What was the opportunity?
My partner at that time, he's in the UK, actually in Peterborough.
Oh, Peterborough. Yeah.
Where is a very small place. But yeah, I was thinking, okay, I need to do something because I'm a very active person. So I applied for a job in the college. So I was admin in the apprentice scheme, working with carpenters, engineers, and other people. It was really lovely, really lovely. But I missed the creativity of it. I missed the part of architecture where we can, you know, give something from us and that collaboration with the client and seeing something growing. I missed it. So I just applied for a job here in Altrincham. And since then, I'm there. I haven't changed. I'm happy. Great.
And so where are you working in Altrincham?
So it's a small practice, Project 3 Architects, and very familiar practice. Yeah, and many of us are actually foreigners. We don't have two equal people from the same country, apart from directors, which are British. But that's just it's really nice. I really enjoy it.
So you did your part 3 in the UK. Did you have to read your part 2 at all?
No. So luckily, my qualification from Europe were just transferred to the ARB and RIBA. They accepted it. So I can just directly do my part 3 here, which I have done in Northwest.
Right.
Yes.
And I've got your CV in front of me. Aidan Smith Award winner for your part 3s.
Yes.
That's amazing. So I think, is it just one student selected to be a Hayden Smith Award winner for your part 3s? And just for anyone listening, the part 3, if you're not an architect, is the professional practice element. So it usually takes a year to study. You've got to do a case study, a very detailed case study from a kind of quasi-legal perspective.
Yes, yes.
And then you have a professional exam, which is 2 days, and what is it, 10 questions over 2 days. Followed by an assessment and interview with 2 examiners.
Yes, indeed.
So it's quite something to have achieved the Hayden Smith Award. So it must have been, so actually, what did you do for your case study?
So I had a dual case study.
Yeah.
Project that I have started and I was hoping to get on site, didn't get on site on time. So I basically did the first 3 stages on this project. And I did the construction process on the smaller projects and they accepted it as a case study. So by that as well, I've showed like variety of experience.
And I take it was at the same practice at Project 3?
Yes, it was the same practice. So yeah. One of the reasons why it was by that, it was just because I had the same mentor. So it was easier if he could kind of help me, guide me if needed in those than the previous ones. So
yeah, so it's a huge accolade to you and your mentor.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. I only help.
So if you were talking to anyone who was about to do their part 3s, what advice would you give them?
So I certainly recommend it. And I really think that was something that helped me as well to get into the British standards, British way of doing architecture, the process and everything. So certainly I recommend it. It was very stressful. I don't deny that.
It was very
Stressful, very stressful. And then I always I'm always thinking about it as a very stressful period. But I would recommend everyone to start on time, try to do the things on time, focus on things since the start, but do the things in their own way. There is always a guidance, but you need to kind of understand it in your way. If you don't agree with something, just show it that you think it might be this way. And that's how I've done it. I didn't completely follow everything they've told us to do. I tried to do the main point, but where I was not certain about it, that's the way, I just said it. I just went through into it the way, just directly, just
right.
say
Okay, so rather than trying to comply, if you're not quite sure about it, follow your own path, but be committed.
Yes, be committed for sure. There is no doubt. And I think as early you've done it, I mean, I think it's not, for example, one of the things that helped me, it was because I already had some experience in the past. I had a bit of more experience and I understood more the question, the technical questions and the process in the practice. But that's why, for example, people directly after university, I'm not so sure they have this experience. And if they have an opportunity to leave it maybe 1, 2, 3 years after university, then they would understand it better, what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I really think that helped a lot my experience in Europe, which I could also show in my submission and comparison how it works. Because in here, after university, you can basically straight do the part 3. Republic, we would need to have 3 years post master's graduation to start doing this application. In Belgium, it was 2 years. So depends really. And I really think experience is the key in this.
Yeah. So do you think, what is it about, is there a right or wrong practice that you need to have experience in?
I think there is nothing like right or wrong. From the wrong things you can learn.
Yeah.
That's how you can improve. And I think that's the best way. And there is nothing which is completely going smoothly from start till the end.
Yeah.
And if it happens, it's amazing. But from experience, I don't think ever it went fully smoothly. But you can learn from the things that went well and try to implement it to other projects. And the ones that they don't go well, try to correct in the next projects. So that's what I think.
Good advice. So I believe you've got some questions for me.
Of course, I've watched so many of your podcasts. It's so amazing, those people you invite. I loved the one with Danny Kerr. I loved the one with Ben Derbyshire. I loved the one with Pablo and Lego. And it was really amazing. And also all those little post-students or students looking for a job to see how it's really the market, and that's amazing. So I know loads of things about you, about the franchise and everything, but there is a couple of things I wanted to know and I was really interested. You were saying that your first workshops with the clients are sitting in front of them and drawing it in front of them. Yeah. That's amazing. How did you get to this idea?
How did I get to the idea? I think it was learning from mistakes. I think I remember going to see a client. I kind of always did like free initial consultations, just to go and see, and then I'd take a brief and then I'd give them a fee proposal. But then, I was kind of like looking for commitment to, for someone to kind of move forward with a planning application from just a 1-hour meeting. And it seemed like it was a bit of a tall order to make that leap between, I've seen you, and then let's go for it. My first client was lovely. She was like, yeah, yeah, definitely, let's go, let's kind of, and it worked out really well, but not all clients are like that. And I think I remember I went to see someone who said that they'd recently spoken to another architect who was kind of going to do like a very lightweight kind of workshop style thing with them for low cost, and that just started me thinking and just working it through, and how I was going to do it, and the practicalities, and how much I was going to charge for it. And yeah, I'm just trying to think what my first one was. I can't actually think the first time I actually sat down and did it. I've just done a workshop today with a client that I did a workshop with about 6 years ago.
Wow, nice.
And it was really interesting because I was looking at the drawings. I was thinking, has my process changed? Has my thought, has my design, you know, kind of my interpretation, you know, how's it all changed? Because you know, we evolve, obviously, no, it was really interesting to kind of look back at what I'd done, and I was kind of, in retrospect, I was very pleased with what I'd done.
That's great.
We were looking at slightly different challenges and slightly different brief this time around. Yeah, so I don't know if that answers your question. But we do, I have got the, this is today's workshop.
Amazing, it's just, I love it.
Yeah, so if you're listening on Spotify, I'm about to show sort of like some workshop drawings. Let's have a little look at this.
So do you use a scale 1 to 50?
Yeah, so I draw at 1 to 50. It's on A3 tracing paper. You can't quite see this. This is a drawing that I did about 5-6 years ago. Some of it's faded, as you can see. And then today we were looking at kind of like, it's a 1930s house, and we were just looking at kind of single 2-story extensions to the side, 2-story extensions to the rear, loft conversions and alternatives on the ground floor. So there's a whole heap of ideas that we went through today. I might have shown you that one.
When you start the process, is the workshop about 1, 2, 3 hours? How long does it take?
This one today was, it was a real life one, so it was face to face. Oh, hold on. We're looking at loft conversions. Here's me just working out the loft section. So part of it's explaining what a section is and head heights, and we had a Lego figure that we were using to scale and just trying to work out actually what the height of the client was.
Yes.
So I've got a conversion chart. So one was 5'2", which converted to 1.57 meters, and the other was 5'9", I think. Someone's going to check this. 1.727, so I mark that on. And then you've got your 2 meters building regulations, and then in the attic you can actually start to work out in a hipped roof kind of the actual usable area. That's their existing layout. But doing it in front of the clients really kind of engages them, and you can check that they understand it. So one of the first questions I ask when I show the existing layout is, where are we sitting? And you're like, just watch their spatial awareness, because it's really easy to spend 3 hours talking to a client about a drawing that they don't understand.
Yeah, it's very easy.
So
so how long did it take you to fully implement it? Was it?
It was quite quick. Yeah, once I knew what I was doing, they're really structured, and the format of the workshop has not changed for 7-8 years. It's kind of like, do a quick measured survey, draw out the existing layout, and then start looking at different options with the client. That's the point where you sit down with the client when you're ready to go, and you can just start drawing loads of ideas. And it's brilliant because, because clients they've always got their own, kind of ideas, and you've got to draw those out to see, whether it's realistic or not. And if it is, great, then you can just embellish it, or, kind of do more detailed design on it. Or often it's just turning them around and, just completely changing kind of like their ideas, and going, actually, that's really not going to work. That's a waste of space, a waste of money. And I'm just really sort of passionate about sort of not wasting money. And, people's homes are their primary investment. So you just don't want to be wasting anyone's money at all.
I understand. This is so nice approach, and that relationship with the client is great.
Right. Do you remember that bit where we said that it's going to go really quickly?
Yes.
Our time's nearly up. It's like we're literally one question each.
Oh, God.
I'll do it. So I'm going to have to start wrapping up. Okay. So I think, is there anything else you want to add or promote? Because it's nice to kind of like promote these things, or any one last piece of advice that you'd like to give?
Maybe to just keep a thematic element, I would recommend everyone to try different experience, especially when they are students. Try different maybe country as an Erasmus supported by the university, or after the school, try different offices to see what better works for you. So maybe practically just experience a few different places for your growth and for your understanding of what you want to do. So I think that would be it.
Absolutely. That's yeah, brilliant. I know we were going to, you mentioned sort of like talking about going to New York, where I went to, but yeah, it is different experiences.
Yeah. And from your experience, for example, in New York, what I understood was you were telling me that it was very flat experience, or what I understood from there, but you learn from it. And now you know, until you don't experience something not really perfect, you wouldn't be sure that this doesn't work. As you said, with a client, they think it can work, but once they see it, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So don't just tread the beaten path.
Yes.
Okay. That's a good piece of advice. Right. And on that note, I'm going to say thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
And if you've liked this episode, please subscribe. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you could subscribe to our Podbean on Spotify. If you want to get in contact, you can find me on social media. It's Lisa Raynes, Raynes, or look at our website, prideroadfranchise.co.uk. Okay. Like, good day.
Good.
Oh, thank you. Right, I'm going to stop now.